Hello everyone. So let's try to review some of the topics we discussed under matrices. So you should take note that you can use your GDC. So do not sweat hard on trying to do everything by hand when you can use your GDC. Another tip is learn how to use control var and tab keys. Yung control bar will help you store the matrix, and the tab keys help you type the elements in the matrix. So, okay, let's try to uh, solve this equation, this matrix. We are going to find the determinant and the inverse of this matrix A, which has the elements 3, 2, 5, 2. So there is an instruction that you have to solve this by hand. So although you have your calculator, you have to show the step-by-step procedure in doing or in finding the determinant and the inverse of this matrix. Of course, you can, after that, you can verify if your answer is correct using your GDC. But without the solution, you will not be getting full marks, or probably you won't be even getting a single mark for that. So to find the determinant of this, or determinant of A, so we have here, we have the formula AD minus BC. So it's going to be 3 times 2 minus 5 times 2. So your determinant is equal to 6 minus 10, which is negative 4. Now to get the inverse, it's 1 over the determinant, so you have 1 over negative 4, or negative 1 over 4. And then what you need to do before you can find the inverse is to switch the diagonal, the main diagonal. So you'll have 2 and 3 here, and then you get the negative of the terms in the other diagonal. So we shall have here the answer, or our inverse is equal to, what's 1/4 of 2, so we shall have negative 1/2, negative 1/2, and then 1/2, and we have also negative 5 over 4, and no, it's positive, sorry, positive 5 over 4, and then negative 3 over 4. You can check this using your GDC, but let me check again. Negative 2, negative 5. Okay, so negative, okay, that is fine. Okay, now for in solving 3 by 3 matrix, you are not going to use or show the manual calculation of this. Instead, you will be using your GDC. You can store this data, because sometimes you might be needing this matrix again in succeeding solutions. So you store this data, you may write this control var, you may say that it's equal to A. Now to find the determinant of A, you just use your calculator under matrix and vectors, and then you click on determinant. So you must store this first. So then you will say, let's say you store this as A. So you write determinant of A, and this will also already give you the answer. Okay, you have time. Try to work on this. You may pause this and then find the determinants. Okay, the determinant is 96. Now to get the inverse, you may just type in, so you know it's inverse of A. But of course, in your solution, it is, in your paper, you write determinant of A, which is capital letter because that's the name of the matrix. But in your head, okay, you're solving this in your head or in your GDC, you will write, after storing A, you'll write determinant and then you insert A here. And for the inverse, you will just write A, to the negative 1. Okay, so if you do that, okay, you have time again, kindly do that. You can pause this video and then find find the inverse of A. Okay, so the inverse of A is 5 over 24, negative 1 over 24, negative 29 over 48, negative 1 over 24, 1 over 24, 13 over 48, 1 over 12, negative 1 over 12, negative 1 over 24. So that's the inverse. You can check that again. Okay, let's move to the next page. Now, in performing operations, it's good that you use your control bar. So let's say you encode using create matrix and vectors. You create your matrix, which is, let's say you name this as A. Let's say you name this as A, and you name this as B. So what's the importance of that? So in case you will be solving equation like this, then you just need to uh, click, let's say, okay, let's see how do we solve this. Since this does not involve multiplication of vectors, we can use our knowledge in algebra on how to solve for x. So we can say that 2x equals a minus 3b. Then x equals a minus 3b divided by 2. So very algebraic, right? So in your calculator, if you encode it as b, then you can just type in a minus 3b divided by 2, and this shall give you this answer or this matrix with the elements 1, negative 6, 1, negative 1 half. Okay, that is for addition and scalar. This is good for addition and subtraction. We can do the algebraic method, and also for scalar multiplication. Okay, but for multiplication of matrices, you must take note that it is not commutative. So for example, we are trying to find x in ax equals b. We cannot just divide, and we would like to find x. We cannot divide b by a. So what we're going to do is since we would like to remove a, which is at the start of it, so we're going to pre-multiply, okay, that by inverse. So we shall have inverse of a times ax, which is actually this one, equals pre-multiply also b, a inverse b. You cannot have it b times a inverse. That will be a different thing. Okay, why do we do this? We know that this one will give you the identity, okay, and identity times x is simply x. So we shall have x equals inverse of a times b. For the next example, we have here x. We would like to remove a. So we can post multiply, okay, by a inverse. So we can have x, a, which is the given, and then we multiply, post multiply that by the inverse. And of course, b shall also be post multiplied by inverse of a. So we know this is equal to identity, so that leaves you only x equals b times the inverse of a. Okay, in this example, we have the missing here, so this could be our x, and this is our a, and let's say this is our b. So our x shall be equal to, just like this one, okay, this is in this format, so b times the inverse of a. So you have here negative 1, 1, 2, negative 1, multiplied by negative 1, 2, 1, negative 1. You don't need to find the determinants. You may go straight ahead on finding the inverse using your calculator. So it's just a matter of creating a matrix, and then after creating that, you see the multiplication symbol, and then make another matrix and then raise that to negative 1. You will be getting an answer which is 3, 1, negative 1, 0. And if since you are given ABCD here and you're asked to find the values, then your final answer shall be A equals 3, B equals 1, C equals negative 1, and D equal 0. Okay, this shall be the answer to the, these are the answers to the problem. Okay, let's have another one. Okay, in finding solution using technology, this one you already have in the form of AX equals B. So the solution is you pre-multiply this by its inverse. Okay, so we shall pre-multiply this also by its inverse. You know this will give you identity. This leaves you only a prime. So you can have in your calculator, you can encode the same 1, 1, 0 0.2, 0 0.4, 0 0.3, 0 0.4, 0 0.2, 0 0.5, and then inverse, and then B 150, 46, and 54. Go ahead, you may stop the video and then find the answer. Okay, so our answer here we have 45, 55, and 50. So that would mean that your x, small x, is equal to 45, your y equals 55, and z is equal to 50. These are the answers for the values of x, y, z. Okay, in this example, it is already given. Okay, let's say this is a system of equation looking for x, y, z. But in this case, you are given the systems of equation. You have to represent this in the form of A, x equals B. It is important that you know how to do that. So A are the coefficients. So coefficients of all the terms, you have 1, negative 1, negative 1, and then 1, 1. Coefficient of 3z is 3. Coefficient of 9x is 9. Of y is negative 1. Of z is negative 3. And then x are the variables used here, x, y, z. And then b are the constants, which are 2, 7, negative 1. And of course, you can find just the same procedure as what we had earlier. So you will have x, y, z equal to pre-multiply, right? Inverse of 1. So you can, instead of writing the inverse here, you can just copy. Okay. So 1, negative 1, negative 1, 1, 1, 3, 9, negative 1, negative 3, inverse of that times b 2, 7, negative 1. This shall give you, okay, you can stop the video again and find the values of x, y, z. Okay, the values of x, y, z are, we have x, let me check my calculation. 3/5, y equals negative 53 over 10, and z equals 35 over 10. I will try to make more videos on complex numbers. You may go back to my YouTube channel to look for some relevant topics for your review, or you may subscribe so you will be updated whether I uploaded a new one. Okay, so see you again on the next video.